Freestyle Travel. Hey everybody, it's Kenny Flannery, your host as always. Catching you guys up, it's been a minute. Last episode I was over in Arizona and I've since gone through Nevada and over to Chico, California, where I am now. One of my favorite little towns to drop in on, so I'll tell you about a bunch of the rides, what I've been up to, but there's some super cool stuff going on in about a week from now. Well, I don't know when you're listening to this. The next full moon, which is April 5th, I am releasing a book and kind of announcing that here for the first time. It's called Nomadic Moonlight. It is a book about the first decade of me traveling, and each page is from every full moon along the way. So starting with the full moon when I was leaving New York, and then I just jump every page to the next full moon and say where I was at, what I was doing. It's pretty fun to write. Pretty fun going back through my notes and pictures and everything, just tracking down where I was for every full moon to jog my memory on that. So that's what I've been working on lately. So that'll finally be released April 5th. So look for that on Amazon or go to hobolifestyle.com, sign up for my little newsletter or something, and or just follow me socials anywhere and you'll see links to that book. So I'm super excited about that. Got that going on. Patreon, as always, patreon.com/Kenny Flannery. If you guys want to get on there, I do a little micro podcast on there, usually a few times a week, just somewhere between a minute, 3 minutes long, kind of updating what I'm doing in real time, basically. So got that going on. I also put up a video on my hopping channel, youtube.com/hopping. Just search for Hopping Backpacking Beer Adventure. If you're not already subscribed to that, the latest episode is going to every brewery in Chico, where I am now, conveniently enough. So that was a fun one. Good episode. Just going to every brewery, drinking a whole lot of beer, getting progressively drunker as the YouTube video goes on. So that was a fun one. Got that up. Working on some other stuff, but I'll launch into hitchhiking from Molly and Kyle's in Arizona and how I got to where I am now back in Chico, California. All right, let's jump right in. Alrighty, so I was there in the cabin, staying at my friend's property there, and they'd gone down to Phoenix, so I was just doing some writing while I was there at their place. And then it was kind of high elevation where they're at, so there's snow and that kind of thing, so I caught a window to get out of there. Figured I'd go back to Laughlin, try to cash up a little bit. That's that casino town I've been spending some time in and getting free rooms, so I'm like wanting to go there to keep the writing going and hopefully make some money. Spoiler, that didn't work out. But it was fine. So hitchhiking there was pretty nice. The first ride I got one ride out of the dirt roads and stuff to the highway from a local guy, and then I hitched a ride from this girl who's hitchhiked all over the world herself. So that was pretty cool. I always love getting picked up by another hitchhiker, either someone who used to do it back in the day or still kind of doing it today. So we had a bunch to talk about, even though it was a short ride. So that was pretty cool. And then got a really quick ride after her from these truck drivers, and it was a father-son. They were going to Vegas, so that got me up to the next little junction and 2 more short rides from there, and bam, got to Laughlin. And I was in Laughlin for a while this time, so I was working on writing a movie, which is still a long, long ways off, but that's what I keep referencing writing. That's what I was up to the first part of this year. But I wanted to switch gears because I know that's a huge project, and I just wanted a small win. So I started working on this moon book I had thought about writing a couple years ago. Just tackled that. So that's what I was doing in Laughlin, switching between Tropicana and Harrah's, just getting the free rooms wherever I could. Pretty much was down to no money when I got there, so I was living off whatever free play they would give me. Every 2 or 3 days I'd get somewhere between $5 and $15, and I would just try to turn that into something. So basically left just as broke as I did getting there, so none of that worked out, but I did finish the book. So decided I'd come on up to Chico had an idea for a video I wanted to film up here. I haven't seen my friends over here since that Chico video, which I also finished editing that I mentioned in the intro, going to all the breweries. So that was like last August or something. So I haven't seen my friends since then. So I figured I'd come up and maybe get a little bit of yard work or something to cash up a little bit while I'm here. Just get back up to triple digits, you know? That's the goal. So hitchhiking here took a couple days. Again, really great rides. Hitchhiking directly out of Laughlin. I got a guy, he was going to Vegas, so that was kind of a short ride because it's the wrong direction, but he got me to the junction. And then I got a ride from this guy who does a lot of rock climbing, owns a weed business out in Oklahoma, and he was on his way to Joshua Tree. So really great conversations with him until his turn off on I-40. And then I got a ride from a Chinese guy who spoke pretty much zero English, just about zero. So not a lot of talking, but he was a friendly guy. He was heading towards the coast, so that was a good long ride. It got me to I-5 past Bakersfield. And then this really cool girl picked me up. She's hitchhiked around in Europe. She's living out of her truck right now. She's a travel nurse, so she's living, I guess you could call it, in Los Angeles, just living out of her truck doing this nursing job. So she said she's able to get these nursing gigs that last somewhere between like a month and 6 months, so not like crazy commitment. And at the moment she was going up to San Francisco to get a tattoo. So I rode with her, and then at dark is when that junction to San Francisco parts ways with where I was going, still up I-5. Middle of nowhere when I hopped out of her car, her truck, and yeah, it was just dark, so had to find a place to camp. Absolutely nothing nearby, no gas stations, no nothing, but I did find a place to camp under a bridge. And kind of a chilly night, but not so bad. Got up in the morning, got moving, walked for a little while on I-5. I don't know, over an hour, maybe a couple hours. And finally a state trooper was yelling at me. First he was yelling at me through the megaphone, like, you can't be on the highway, which is legally true. I can't be walking on I-5, not in California, not in the interstate. But I'm looking around, I'm like fenced in, you know, and I'm in the middle of nowhere. So I'm like, what am I supposed to do? So, and he kept shouting like, get off the highway. I'm like, dude, the only way to get off. So finally he drove up to me. I'm like, yeah, I just got dropped off up here. Like, how far is the next exit? Because that's the only way I can get off the highway. So he just told me to hop in, as they typically do, these state troopers. So he gave me a ride a few exits up closer to Stockton. And I waited there for, I don't know, what felt like maybe a couple of hours. Just because it was like a random exit. Like there's stuff there, but it wasn't like a truck stop, or I gathered probably not a lot of people going that far getting on there. But lucked out, did get a ride from a guy who was going just through Sacramento, so that was absolutely perfect. I didn't get dropped off in downtown Sacramento or anything like that, because getting dropped off in any city, hitchhiking is usually a pain in the ass. So I got to the next junction of the 99. I got a ride from there from a really friendly dude. He took me halfway to Chico, dropped me off, and then a really cool ride. Trying to think of another time where this has happened, but I'm walking down the road, and it's just regular like highway road, not interstate. So legally I was okay. And a work van pulls over, so I run on up to it, and then by the time I get to the van, I see it's my buddy, my buddy Vic from Chico, this guy I know. He was coming back from work and saw me and picked me up. So I'm trying to think if that's happened before. I know, yeah, once my mom picked me up, I was in Wyoming, and I didn't realize it was her until I got right on up there. So that happened once. That was just like the last 2 miles to where I was going to meet her. I've gotten picked up by people that know people I know, like people in common, that sort of thing, but off the top of my head, I can't remember another time where like a friend picked me up. So anyways, that was cool. It was a good way to roll into Chico, just catching up with him the last like half hour or whatever it was. He dropped me off right where I needed to go, and caught up with another friend who I was going to spend the night with, and I got this idea for a video that I want to do, and he might help me film it, so we were talking about that, shooting the shit. Hung out there at his place for a couple days, ran around a little bit, scoped out some spots where we might shoot this little thing, and yeah, game nights, whatever, just kicking it. It's Chico. Then came over to my friend Donna's place, who I've known for, I don't know, it's gotta be 15 years at this point. And I've been kicking it with her, helping her with the yard work and the like. Wrapped up the final things for my book, got the cover art all done. I got a proof copy coming tomorrow. And then, yeah, like I said, that book, April 5th is the next full moon. So it's called Nomadic Moonlight. And like I told you earlier, it's like where I was for every full moon since I've been traveling. So I figured releasing it on a full moon was appropriate. So that should be good to go for the 5th. I don't see there being any snags on that, which will be cool. That'll be the ebook and the paperback, and eventually I'll probably record an audiobook too. Might as well. So yeah, that's where I'm at now, here in Chico. And Chico is one of those towns that sucks you in pretty easy. I already caught up with another couple friends at the brewery, Secret Trail. It's probably my favorite brewery in town. One friend I haven't seen in 5 years or something. The other haven't seen in about a year. So caught up with those guys. And yeah, Chico just sucks me in. So it's gonna be tricky. Like I said, I'm fairly broke right now, but making a little bit of money each day. But you know, catching up with friends usually requires getting beers, so that money is kind of going away as fast as it's coming in. But that's okay. That's all good. So yeah, that catches you up on what I'm up to now. Let me get you in the outro and I'll let you know what's coming next. Alrighty, yeah, so Chico, California, one of my favorite towns. So yeah, there's still gonna be a little bit more catching up with people, filming this video, so we'll see. I might be here for another few days, or it might turn into another week or two. I really don't know. Would like to see if I can cash up a little bit more. I don't know. And yeah, just finish these videos. So that's kind of the goal right now. Probably drop into Sacramento, see my buddy after this. And yeah, just a bunch of stuff as always, kind of calling my name, different directions. But I'm glad to get that moon book out of the way. And now I'm going to be focusing more on a few different videos I've got. Several different like travel and beer videos like normal, but then I also have this idea for this like 10 or 15 minute short film, I guess you'd call it. I don't know. Has nothing to do with travel, but it's just a fun little project that I want to tackle. So I don't know if I'll do that with a friend here in Chico or over in Texas or do it on my own somewhere else. Not sure about that one, but yeah, country's opened up as it's getting warmer. So more and more options. So yeah, it can kind of go anywhere. So we'll see how it goes. But yeah, that's it for now. Like I said, look out for that book. April 5th, Nomadic Moonlight is the title. And fucking A. Yeah, I think I'm gonna offer it for on the Patreon. So if you're on my Patreon, I think I'll just throw a free ebook on there for anyone who's on the Patreon. Might as well. That'd be cool. All right, you guys. Happy days, and I will see you down the road.
To hell with plans I made. I need a new escape. With all my shit straight, I'll get my big brain.